Welcome, everyone, to the World Session for October 10th, 2024. So today I had some internet troubles, and yeah, we were reduced to just me and another gal who also does body talk. So we're just two people holding the space of this energy. And since it's only two of us, we kind of worked on a little bit more personal stuff. So, by the way, doesn't matter if it's someone's subject. If you need any of it, it will take effect. You will feel that. And if not, don't worry about it. So, we're going to work with repetitive colds and the immune system. We're going to work with the oral microbiome, gut microbiome, and the feminine microbiome. Okay. So, we want to get all of these things working in synchronization. They should work together, meaning you got to get the brain, the biomes all working to deal with whatever's coming into the body. So the brain needs to optimize its capacity to deal with incoming viral load, bacteria, etc. So let's just breathe so our brains can search that out. And I'm just going to tap. So the brain is searching it out. I'm observing the brain on my subject here, the person who's with me, that brain is viewing things. So one of the things that's coming up in my surrogate is a lot of confusion as to bacteria, infection, virus, microbes. There's a lot of confusion. So I'm going straight to the gut brain, where the gut brain is hosting some age-old are we going to go there's a little bit of microparasite, there's a little bit of bacteria, and then something is going on in the heart too. All right, so we're going to work with the times in the life of this surrogate that her heart was broken. It's female, so her heart was broken. And that heartbreak opened up the possibility of parasites. So anyone who's dealing with relationship, all of that, so remember, I'm working with her particular body mind, but it's going to have an impact on you. I can already feel my body taking that into whatever heartbreaks. It doesn't have to be just from relationship. It can be from parents, and it feels like this is coming from father, and whatever abandonment issues that come up that have allowed these certain microparasites and bacteria to proliferate, kind of like a hole. So that thinking of a broken heart, and there's like a hole, and that hole allows things to come in that shouldn't have space to proliferate. So, and there's a bunch of mucus moving up in the throat right now. And I'm just feeling into, okay, so sometimes we can become defensive in the world. We have all these ideas of how we defend and what we're doing. So one of the things that comes to mind is when I work with people and they want to attract things like attract job, relationship, money, whatever it is. This attraction is always happening. And if we don't have the thing we want, it means many things. It means that what we're asking for can't come to us because of something that is in our consciousness, which could be karmic as well. So there's no blame on any of this. But here we get a little bit of, I blame myself for the things that are not working in all these categories, right? So there's career, finance, family life, relationships, right? Those are the major categories. Of course, there's health in there as well. So there's a lot of self-blame going on. I'm sure we all have that. And just looking at, and it cuts right through the thymus gland. And just breathe now. We just want to remove that, help this is metaphorical scar tissue, though there could be a parallel of scar tissue through fascia going on in there. But let's just work with that. So if you're feeling it, I'm feeling it down here. That's not hers. hers is above here and here. Mine is over here. So you might have it somewhere else. You might even feel it in your buttocks. That's fine. Wherever you're feeling that. Oh, I'm feeling it in my shoulder too now. So just breathe so we can allow this to come out. Now I'm just recalling last week's session. Last week's session, we did a lot of work as light workers. And there was a powerful result for me from that. And so is the person who's sharing this session with us, who we're allowed to use as surrogate. She also had some insights where things were not affecting her as dramatically, and for myself as well. I just felt way more peaceful. So that light work is definitely, taking its position in the world, in the universe. So why I'm bringing this up is I think it's really important that we understand that work we did last week will, continue in perpetuity. It will just continue. So here we go. I'm just going to breathe now to bring in that light work. So if you're not a light worker, that's fine. But if you are a light worker, this isn't an ego trip. Light workers have a rough time of it. Sometimes people think they're light workers, but they have a hard time looking at the darkness. But light workers tend to look right into the darkness. Yes. And we have to always be watching that we're not falling into it, right? As Nietzsche said, right? Beware when you look into the abyss, because the abyss will look back at you. So this is a constant kind of work that light workers are doing. So I just wanted to bring that in so you understand that that will continue taking effect. Now, let me go back to the gut microbiome so that it discerns what incoming invaders, right? So think about it. Here we did light work last week. Wonderful. And this week we need the body to shed light on whatever's coming in, that the body goes, I don't want that to be in there. We don't want the immune system ever to ignore, and it will. So let's say you catch something, well, here, let's do it this way. We have all these viruses and bacteria and all kinds of stuff in our body, but it remains in balance, right? So it doesn't always come back, right? We can have antibodies to certain things, and they don't come back. Okay, fine. But the body can also, as it sees that is there, I already dealt with it, it's hanging out. It can also allow things to hang out that aren't so great in the body, but those are the ones we want the immune system to look at and go, time to go. Now, we're going to let your body do it as well as you can deal with it. This is really important. We're putting a parameter here where each individual on the planet who decides they want to receive this session, these sessions do not go out and just interfere with people. You go out, if you want to receive it, you receive it. So yeah, I can kind of feel a stress coming up from the thymus up into the throat, into the tonsils. It's like, let's do this really gently and get rid of things. So one of the things we talked about with my gal here is gums and teeth. And so we want to do that oral microbiome, but I think we'll also do, there are a lot of things that can influence the body that goes on in the mouth, and whatever gets detoxed in the mouth, can often go and interfere with different areas. So we're going to give a direct detox blood from within all of the gum area, and then lymphatic drainage, and get it to go to the side, away from the heart, to the spleen. So we're really directing it away from the heart, away from the heart. So I think this session started off with this idea of brokenheartedness. There's also guilt. There's also self-blame, which of course is affiliated with guilt. We want all of that to move through the heart. We want that to be opened up so you can look at your life and be able to take the steps to get the things that you need. You still have to take the steps. This is not a miracle cure. This is, we work here metaphysically so that we can remove some of the obstacles that you're ready to remove. If you're not ready to remove them, they're not going to be removed, and be able to help the body. So there we go. I just felt this whole thing open up. Armpits are representational of the heart. That just opened up, and the whole belly is opening up, and I can already breathe better. You might even be noticing my voice is already changing. I felt like it was being constricted, and now it's opening up. And we're going to go to the feminine area of uterus, into the cervix and the vaginal opening. Really want to get this area to be responsive to its own life, its own capacity to have blood circulation and all of the fluids it needs to be able to detox. Now, thinking about it, there's all these age groups of women on the planet, and we want to get those women to have the best functioning. Well, in this case, we're doing uterus. I'm not really doing the ovaries and the fallopian tubes and that kind of thing at the moment, not reproductive, but the health of the lining. So, when the egg goes into the lining, it's going to get, attached really well. And as long as that body needs it. And then we're going to get all of the movement outward of whatever toxins are there. Again, I'm losing my voice again. By the way, the second chakra is a heart feeder, and I'm kind of feeling that, that energy of, oh, okay, so, there are a lot of issues in the world when it comes to the feminine, with our foods, with hormones, with pesticides. Men are, their testosterone's going down, sperm count is going down with women, lots of fertility issues. I'm not going to go through all the problems, but there are many, many, many problems going on, whether it's environmental, whether it's cultural. There are a lot of cultural shifts going on in the world that, that are not, the consciousness of that can also be part and parcel of what reduces the capacity for the uterus to enjoy itself. Enjoy itself. That's the word, enjoy itself. All right, nice deep breath. And there are certain cultures too where you're not, as women are not supposed to enjoy themselves. So that's another little, idea. Oh, that just caused a pain through the left shoulder. And I can't breathe. So, I'm just thinking of those cultures, and all of the women who in the world who've had violations of any kind. I don't care which kind it is, any kind of violation. So most of us have, I have experienced it. So we want to bring the joy back in there. And also, things happen in the world, terrible things, but we need to be strong, and that uterus needs to be strong to be able to best deal with our lives, to be able to have, at the ready, our capacity to make a beautiful life. It's up to us to improve our lives. And yeah, if we fall upon something that's not nice, it happens. Something that's even evil and terrible, we can be that force to create change. All right, I can definitely feel the second chakra spinning, actually. I'm just going to work with that second chakra a little bit just to help it. Not repaired, it's clean out, it's rotating, and I see, some energy going in to clear out the second chakra. It is not just of our personal difficulties to the second chakra, but universal. And then I'm feeling the reciprocals of shoulders to hips, And I feel that motion going on to create that fluid spine. Fluid spine. So the gal I'm working with right now has a few issues in the spine. I'm going to go straight into her spine to deal with some of these issues. So if you have them, whether you have a stenosis, whether you have a deformity, whether you have a scoliosis, whether you have bone spurs, whether you have bulging discs, whether you have slightly bulging discs, whether your disc has a nucleus that has come out, we're going to start working with the movement of energy and then fluids and then the consciousness in the brain to get that spine to work better. The bony material, we need those osteoclasts to develop and create a nice strong vertebrae. We need the osteoblasts to break down any bone spurs or nubs or anything like that along. And we really want the muscular system to engage so we get that fish movement. If anyone's ever done Watsu, it's a beautiful type of therapy. If you ever find a Watsu practitioner, it is a very incredible feeling. They just hold your head and pull you through the water, and they'll take you under the water and up. It's like you're a baby. It is so, so, so beautiful. So I'm just imagining being in Watsu now and having the head just being pulled ever so gently. And then the body moves like a fish. And some of us don't move that way. Like when I had my session, she's like, "Oh, you've got some spinal issues." You could really feel it. It wasn't quite moving like a fish. It was more like flow instead of that beautiful movement. But let's just imagine it so that those areas can really open up. I'm going to go into overweight. So today's been quite a day for looking at, actually, it's been about a week. A lot of people have had, so many body issues that come up because of weight. And we know that one of the biggest problems in the United States and really happening in Canada is overweight. And it can happen for many, many reasons. One is the toxins in our foods, glyphosates and, Ready Roundup from Monsanto, as we all know. We use all these products as pesticides, but they turn out to be very terrible for our bodies, very destructive. So we want to be able to get the body and the fat to kind of expel that. Now, we're going to do this very gently because we don't want a massive detoxification to be happening. So we're going to let it be on a very slow drip of let's move these things out. The problem with all of this is for North Americans, we continue eating this food. So it's really hard. It's not easy. It's really not easy. So I want to bless all of the politicians, especially those in agriculture, and pray that they are able to stop the use of poisons and to make our food, our beautiful food, healthy again. Ooh, I feel like the food's crying too, as is my body. So, okay, it's time for this to stop. And we'll breathe. And I'm really going to end the session there. I thank you all. Bye.